Hi, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this very first Life Lifter Showcase. And the intention here is that every month we will be sharing with both new and invited guests that are joining for the very first time, as well as people that have belonged to the community and connected with me for many years. And if you don't know me, because you're new to goal mapping, my name is Brian Main, and I made a decision many years ago to become a goal mapping coach and to help lift lives around the world, helping people to improve themselves and improve their lives with personal development. Please do write in the chat, say hi. We've got people joining from different places, and also people that are brand new to this community of people helping to lift lives around the world, and also, of course, people that have been present in the community for many years. Say a quick hi, please say who you are, where you're joining from. Just going to lower the camera down, sit down for this evening, and bring on the presentation. And I hope everybody can see the screen okay. We have people joining from different places. And let me begin really by saying this is a journey I've been on for almost 30 years. Almost 30 years ago, making the decision that I wanted to help other people and lift their lives to a higher level. And from the beginning, really, there have been three aspects that I always look to bring into any presentation. They are to inform and inspire and empower. To inform people with knowledge and ideas and the principles of success, to inspire people to go set their own goals, and to empower them with techniques to help them to achieve their best results in life. And here in this new series of presentations, the Life Lifter Showcase, the intention is just the same. Whether you are a very experienced person who's been connected with me and goal mapping over many years, or whether you are an invited guest here this evening from one of the people in the community, the intention is to inform with information about the principles of success, to inspire with the stories, heart-lifting stories from people making a difference around the world with goal mapping, and to empower with ideas and techniques and tools. And I've been working with goal mapping for many years, and here my main goal map about helping to lift 7 million lives. And earlier today was making a presentation about helping people in education. But you can see here on the goal map also information and goals about helping people in business and life generally, and of course, health and well-being. The goal mapping, for those new to it, is both a mindset program as well as a simple 7-step system for achieving success. 7 simple steps that form a goal map that help to activate both head and heart, right brain and left brain, and help people to be their best, do their best, and achieve their best results. And it's such a universal system of success that people are able to use it in many different areas of their life. And over the years, a lot of different products and materials have been created, a lot of presentations have been made, but it's really the certified community of coaches, trainers, therapists, teachers, leaders that are sharing goal mapping around the world that are making the biggest difference. And so far, goal mapping has reached more than 5 million people. 1 million of those are school children, helping people to improve their life in some way, whether that is their education, their corporate career, or it is their health, well-being, or winning medals in their chosen sport. There is an absolutely amazing community of people that are sharing goal mapping, either on a one-to-one basis or a group basis. And we have the youngest goal mapping certified coach with us this evening, Odysseus. It's lovely for you to join us again. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you in a little while about your goal map and giving us an overview of the 7 steps of goal mapping. The oldest person teaching goal mapping is in their 80s, and people teaching the system come from more than 30 countries, and they are working with people in different areas of life. Some people choosing to help people advance their career within business, and some people choosing to use goal mapping within their sporting achievements or education, and so many countries now. And we were hearing earlier today from people using goal mapping in different countries around the world, and we'll also be hearing later this evening, hopefully from Felix, who's traveling today, but will hopefully be able to join us through his mobile phone and share his experiences of teaching goal mapping. Even the world's leading coaches, such as Tony Robbins, endorsing the system and making it available for their top clients to receive goal mapping, even though they have their own goal setting systems. And it's been an amazing journey for me teaching this simple system of success. And I know that there are people viewing the presentation that are starting out on their coaching journey. And let me just say that at the start of my coaching journey, I was in an awful situation. I was £1 million in debt. My home had been repossessed. I had absolutely no qualifications. I was on my own because my marriage had broken down. And I couldn't even read or write properly because I had left school early, being born into a traveling fun fair community. My father's fun fair would visit the Isle of Wight each year, and eventually I settled here on the Isle of Wight and I opened a disco. I left school before I was 13 with no qualifications, unable to read and write properly. And I had some success with the disco I opened. This is me and my brother, and we were in various music magazines and features in the newspaper. But after 13 years, the disco closed and I found myself in a great deal of debt. £1 million of debt and no qualifications, no formal work experience, an unusual life journey. And life was looking very dark for me. And big turning point for me, the great blessing that came into my life at age 30, and I'm grateful to this day, is I met an amazing life coach, a coach that helped me to lift my own life. And he did that by sharing with me the simple yet extremely powerful science of positive thinking, and learning how our thoughts influence our feelings and help us to make more connections in our brain was the big turning point in my life. It came at a very dark time when I really was looking for some answers. And it's amazing how just one person at a crucial time can make such a big difference. And it became the influence for me to decide that I wanted to teach personal development to others. And within just a couple of years of meeting my life coach, I had become a coach myself, and I had a vision of goal mapping. I'd seen it as an inspiration in my mind in 1994, and I started to teach the system in 1995. And back then, it was create your goal map on a blank sheet of paper. But of course, goal mapping now has evolved with the times. And we now have an online goal mapping platform that allows people to both engage in creating their goal map, as you can see mine here in words and pictures, as well as learning the mindset, taking the personal development journey of content by watching the videos in the platform that helps them to learn the principles of positive thinking and self-improvement. We also, of course, have tools in addition to goal mapping, such as the life balance check and other tools that help people to develop themselves. And here in these workshops, we will run them each month throughout 2023, and we will be focusing on a different coach and how they are using goal mapping each month as we go through 2023, shining a light on the work that different people are doing with goal mapping, either using the one-to-one coaching pages that you can see here in the platform. And at the moment, I'm coaching Kristin in Norway, or by using the online coach training. And it has been a complete revelation to be able to coach other people at a distance, not just customers, but also other coaches. And I think there is no greater example of that than Felix, who has never been on a physical training program, and yet has learned goal mapping through the online platform, and then by downloading and printing resources has managed to reach out to thousands of people now, not only in his own country in Nigeria, but also has now stretched out to international goal mapping, both physical, in person, traveling recently to Tokyo, before that to Kenya, but also embracing the online program. And you can read there some of the testimony from Felix. Felix, I know you're traveling today. I think you're making up a presentation.
Hello, Brian. I'm here. Good evening.
It's really good to join with you, Felix.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you on your mobile phone?
Yes, I'm using my mobile phone. I'm in Abuja for a program. So
how is
I'm
the connection?
Yeah, the connection is a bit okay this evening. It was in the afternoon, it was so terrible. But now it seems okay because I had to go to a place where I can get good connections to connect.
Okay. So would you like me to show some of the pictures you sent to me, Felix,
please,
about your work with goal mapping? As the connection is not so good, I'll show the pictures on my side and you can tell us about them, and also tell me when you want to move on with the picture.
Please, you can go ahead, please. Thank you. Okay, good day, everyone. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Brian and Vicky, for everything you have been doing. Brian, I'm so grateful for this opportunity. You know, since becoming a goal mapping certified practitioner, it's been an encouraging for me to do more, to give back what I've benefited. In 2010, I started teaching goal mapping. I mapped my first goal. Then in 2012, I started teaching goal mapping. How I started the goal mapping teaching was I went to my alma mater, my high school. So I talked to the students about their goals and aspiration in life. And I noticed there was confusion between the students, and then there was no direction. You know, they were feeling down, okay, because they're in public schools, they felt like they're supposed to be in a private schools, you know. So I encouraged them, I told them I am from this school and this is who I am today. So they felt that. So I now said to myself that this is something that I need to take upon myself as a passion to teach these students how to set and map their goals so they can help themselves to get a better grades and be focused in their academics. So the first picture, sorry, Brian, the first picture was 2019 annual leadership training where goal mapping is part of the session. So this is a Favor. Favor is now a 200 level student studying neurosurgeon. I was part of our.
This young guy we can see on the screen.
Yes.
He's now studying to be a neurosurgeon.
Yes, he mapped his
That's
goal.
amazing, Felix.
Yes, he mapped his goal and he said he wants to have 9 A's in his West African examination. And when the result came out, he had 8 A's.
8 A's?
Yes, 8 A and B's. And the thing is, when I went to the school to follow up, he had already left the school because then he was going to SS3. That's senior secondary school 3. Then they were in senior secondary school 2, going to school 3. So when we went to the school in 2020 after the COVID, we learned that he's now in the university, that he was the second best student during the JAM because he scored 350 in the joint admission matriculation exam to get to university, that he was the second best under that education district. So I contacted him and he talked about how goal mapping has helped him to set the goal, that the goals he set really helped him, and he was so grateful about it.
Huh.
So, yes. Then this picture really is something that really inspired me because this was the 2020. No, this was, yes, 2020 after the COVID. This was 2020. This student, this girl, this particular student, they were special needs students. What do I mean by special need? They are deaf and dumb, so they cannot speak. Yes, so they have a teacher who does the interpreting for them in school. So the lady beside me, if you see the lady beside me, was interpreting with sign language to them, to this student, and they mapped their goal. And this girl came to me when other students were sharing their goals. She came to me, was telling me with sign that she wants to share a goal. I was like, I don't understand. The teacher now told me that she said she wants to share her own goal. So she was happy to share while the teacher was interpreting to other students. So this was very, very interesting. I was so happy. So next slide, please. So this one I was opportune. A lady from Sweden invited me to the slum area in Kenya, Korogocho and Riruta in Kenya. So she invited me to come talk to this student because they said drugs is really prevalent in that city, in that area. So these students, they are into drugs. That she wanted me to come and teach them goal mapping and help them reposition their mindset. So I went to the area, I talked to the student, I taught them the goal mapping, I shared some of my books to them, and some of the students came to me privately and said they want me to come to their school, that the boys, they are really doing drugs, that they want me to come teach them goal mapping. So I told them, well, I came here via someone who invited me. Then they now invited some of the teachers from different schools, 2 teachers per school. So I taught the teachers goal mapping, so like teach the trainer. So the teachers will now teach their various students when they go back to schools. So when they finish, I gave the teachers certificates for taking part in the goal mapping session. So when they go back.
Well done, Felix.
Thank you.
How many students do you think that you have helped with goal mapping so far since the beginning, Felix?
Well, I would say now maybe 5,500, because I know the last time was, I think 5,000. But now, between then and now, it has gone to 500. It has gone to 500.
And did you ever imagine that you would be going to Tokyo to teach goal mapping in the university there?
Brian, I never imagined I would even go to Kenya. This year, I never imagined I would go to Kenya, not to talk of Tokyo. So when they told me, they said, Felix, you're a Go mapping expert. We want you to come talk to this student in Tokyo about Go mapping, the student in Sophia University. So when I got to, I've been to Sophia University in 2018, where I had the conference there, but this year they said they want to bring something new, that I should teach these students, some of the students Go mapping, that they are interested to know what Go mapping is all about. So some of the students now came and then they participated, and then I shared the Go mapping. I had an interpreter, an Italian, Leonardo, who interpreted. You know, it was so interesting seeing somebody speaking another language, interpreting, teaching them Go mapping. So when I came back to Nigeria, I got a feedback from one of the Japanese students that he actually shared his goal map with me. I should give feedback. Brian, I shared the feedback with you. He said he wanted me to yes, he wanted, and some of them now said they are interested for me to teach them Go mapping online, which I told them, yes, I'm happy to do that. So I'm waiting for their response to register. So it's very interesting, and I'm so glad, and I want to thank you, Brian, for the opportunity.
Felix, you are an inspiration to me, and I know to many others here in the community. I love the way that you have embraced the opportunity to help other people, and you have stepped up and pushed at what you feel was right to do. What is here, and I know that you have your own goal mapping book.
Yes.
I was very pleased to write you the foreword for.
Yes.
Who is this group of people, Felix?
Okay, Brian, you know, like I said, I was so lucky, and I consider myself privileged to getting across to your book in 2005. So when I read your book, I was so inspired. So I know some of these students, when you tell them about Go mapping, you want them to read more. So I now said to myself, during the COVID, the lockdown, 3 months we were at home, and I said, okay, since we are at home, I don't know how long this lockdown will take. Why not do something? So that 3 months, I used it to write the book, Go mapping, using your book also as a guide, you know, to write my own book so I can make it available to students, especially those from low-income families. Just make sure I get the book, print them, and share to them. So my mandate was to print 20,000 copies to share with these students across Nigeria. So while they are at home, they can have something they can read, you know, because of course they cannot afford this book, no matter how cheap it is, because they don't have the school is free education. So my aim was to share the book for them free. So I did an online fundraising. So I got the first printed copy was 2,000 copies based on what the money I raised. So I printed 2,000 copies. So these students were graduating students from the Lagos State Education District. So they invited me to come talk to the students as they are graduating. So I talked to them about Go mapping, how they can set their goals and achieve their goals. And at the end, I now shared copies of the books to them. So as a guide.
That's really good, really inspiring, Felix. And
thank you.
If people would like to connect with you, Felix, and to learn from you or be coached by you with the one-to-one coaching, is the best way for them to contact you through the goal mapping website? Let me just see if I can bring on the screen share, because I think we have you right here in the coaches if people want to search. Yeah, my dyslexia kicking in. I need spelling lessons, Felix. Here you are. Is this the way you would like people to contact with you for the coach profile, or is there some specific way you would prefer, Felix?
This is fine. I'm also on LinkedIn as well, Felix Isioma. I'm also on Facebook, Felix Isioma. So it's fine with me. Yeah, it's fine. Facebook, LinkedIn is okay as well.
And would you like to perhaps write in your a full name in the chat so that people, if they want to search you on LinkedIn, can find you easily that way as well?
Okay, Brian.
Thank you ever so much, Felix. I hope your travel and your work goes well and you arrive back home safely. And I sincerely thank you for sharing here this evening.
Thank you, Brian. Actually, the program I came for is a Drug and Substance Abuse Summit, which I'm also talking about goal mapping, giving a presentation, a keynote on goal mapping as well.
Fantastic. And who is that to? The keynote on goal mapping?
Yes, I'm giving a keynote on goal mapping. The program is a Drug and Substance Abuse Summit in Abuja.
Okay, fantastic. I wish you all the best with it, Felix.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Take care,
Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Vicky.
And so with goal mapping, there is both the mindset content as well as the technique. And as you've just heard from Felix, you can present both together, of course, or work with just one, such as the goal mapping system. The thing that is really striking my mind in these last years is how timeless the principles of goal mapping are. The goal mapping program started in 1995, and the opening lines of the workshop is that the world is changing faster than ever before. And of course, this opening line to goal mapping is even more true now than it was when goal mapping started almost 30 years ago. And the reason it's even more true now is because the world is changing even faster now. And what is important for us is that we remember that change creates opportunity. We can have something new, something more, something different with change. And goal mapping itself has changed considerably since the beginning, when it was a paper-based program, to now being a hybrid where goal mapping can be delivered either on paper or online, depending on what best fits the situation. We can't always control the changes that come into our life, but we can choose the set of ourselves. And if you imagine you are like a sailing boat on the ocean, the wind will change many times, and there is quite a storm brewing, an economic, financial, cost of living crisis for so many people around the world. And this is such an important time for people to understand the life-changing principles of goal mapping. Regardless of which way the wind blows, you can adjust the set of your sail. And in doing so, by adjusting the set of your sail, you are able to capture the opportunities created by change. It requires that each of us be our own captain. And what does it mean to be our own captain? It means that we have a belief in ourselves, we approach our life with a good attitude, and that helps us to be empowered in our action. Inform, inspire, empower. And by being the captain of ourselves, we're able to set a better sail, capture the opportunities created by change. What is essential is that we know where we want to go, that we are clear about our goals. In dark and stormy times, goals are never more important, because they are our beacons of light that help us to hold on to hope and to steer our course and to find our way to better shores, better times. One of the greatest ways of setting goals, of course, is goal mapping, and nothing gladdens my heart more than when we have families teaching goal mapping. And there are a few families around the world, fathers and children, or mothers and children, or sometimes the whole family, who choose to teach goal mapping in different ways. And I'm delighted that Kostas introduced Odysseus to goal mapping, and Odysseus, son of Kostas, has now become the youngest ever certified goal mapping coach, and is currently learning the goal mapping facilitator program. Costas isn't able to be with us tonight, and he sent strict instruction, Odi, that you're to give your presentation within the first hour, and you can stay for 5 minutes afterwards. And then he said something about homework. So
Yeah.
I'm delighted, Odi, that you can find the time to join us and to give us an overview of an understanding about how you create a goal map and why it's important. I'm going to get your screen highlighted for everyone and make sure the screen share permission is on. Are you going to share your screen with us, show something?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll share my screen.
Then, Odi, the floor is yours, youngest goal
Thank you.
mapping coach.
Can everyone see my screen first of all?
I can.
Okay. Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Odysseus Capellas. You might know me for the youngest goal mapper. Now I'll be going through the 7 steps of the goal map. So first of all, you've got the dream. You need to know, what do you want? You need to have these goals, dreams that you want to achieve in the future. It's important that you have these dreams that you really want to achieve, for you can have it all set up for you in the future. We've got order. Which goals is the priority? My priority is I feel confident, happy, joyful, excited, and brave. That is my main dream, that I want to be around people. That's why it's my priority. There's also other dreams that are still important, but not as far as my main one. Like, I want to teach people to survive and take them up mountains. We then got visualize. We need to teach people, like, visualize, like, in your head, like what images you need to visualize, what you want for the future. So I visualize, like, these images help you to visualize it. For example, I teach people to survive and take on mountains. You could see I've got a tent and I've got a mountain behind, and I can visualize that in my head. I also love cooking my own food. I've got some food in the image. It helps me all visualize these things. We then got why. You have to identify your motivating reasons. When I was 10 years old, I climbed Mount Olympus, 2,918 meters. And that's one of the things that's been motivated me since I was 10. I also love nature and to survive. That's another reason why I am very motivated, and also love to write books to inspire people. I already got one book, Mount Olympus book. It's out, published, and there'll be a second one. I'm still doing it right now, so it'll be out soon, like about after Christmas. We then got when, over what period of time. You need to have a period of time to know when you want to start your goal and when you want to finish your goal. This is very important. So if you don't know when you're going to finish your goal, it's going to be a bit messed up. And as you can see, my finish goal will be the 15th of March, 18th of May 2013. And that's my goal. It's a long process, but I'll do it down before that. But for a full-fledged business, yes, I've got like a whole visualized plan for that. We then got how. What actions will be needed? I hope for my business to work, I need to have a combined business to survival mountain guiding. These are the things I enjoy doing, and I need this all combined to achieve it. I also need to learn mountain guiding to learn survival skills. Without this, I can't really achieve my dream. Then got who. Whose help will you require? My dad, he's helped me my whole life and really helped me to get my business going. I've got a website starting off. He helped me go through these amazing adventures, so I'm very grateful. And Mickey, as you can see here, is my mountain guide and survival guide. He teaches me all these things from time to time. And then after you're done, you get to view the whole thing. You got all the images, you got all the writing down, and what I do, I print out, leave it on my desk, and therefore you can see it every day. And after I'm finished, I like to do the title last. When I can look at the map and see what type of theme it is, I get to put the name. So this theme matches like my future business. So Odysseus future business. Thank you, everyone.
Well done, Adi. It's so impressive. And what are you? What's your favourite thing with goal mapping? What do you like about it most?
My favorite thing is when I'm creating my goal map in the images, because I really like the images. It helps me to visualize it for my future. So I like the images. So yeah.
And I know your dad has helped you a lot. Are there other people in your school and teachers that know that you're doing this with goal mapping and mountain climbing and your dreams for the future?
I don't think anyone know. I think one of my friends does know about my goal mapping, but yeah, people know I climb Mount Olympus, but it's mainly my friends and some teachers. So yeah, I haven't really like spread the word out to many people, but like is.
And when do you think you might start coaching some other people to do their goal maps?
Well, I've got a lot of schoolwork, but I'll start as soon as possible. I might like do some pre-recording, and then I can put it out for people to watch. So yeah.
All right, that's super, Adi. You're a real inspiration again. I think you're going to help so many people in the future with goal mapping and your adventure mountain work. Anyone would like to ask Adi any questions at all before we move along with the presentation? Just put up a hand if you'd like to ask Adi something about his journey with goal mapping. Okay, then I'm going to bring on the PowerPoint presentation again. And
I'll go in 5 minutes, Brian, because I've got some tests coming up, so I'm sorry about that.
It's quite all right, Adi.
It's my
Thank you for joining this evening and sharing your wisdom. It's really great. Well done. Really good to see you again. So, 7 simple steps: main goals, side goals, top of the motivating reasons why, when, how, who. And I think one of the things that stood out to me over many years now is simple does not mean simplistic. Just because it's simple, it doesn't also mean it's not profound. It just means that being simple, it's accessible by a very wide range of people. And people find their own level and own depth within goal mapping, and of course communicate it in their own way. And I'm very pleased to say that we have many people that are teenagers and teaching goal mapping, and we have many people in their retirement years teaching goal mapping, and of course many people in between teaching it in business, school, network marketing, therapy. And we're going to hear also tonight from Cephas and Flavia. I can see here on the screen in just a little while. But let me again just remind for our new people that within goal mapping, it is both the technique as well as the teaching around mindset. And it was understanding the simple principles of how positive thinking helps to activate connections between brain cells that allow us to use the whole of their brain, that helped me to overcome some of my learning challenges and teach myself to read at age 30. This was the big turning point in my life, and learning how positive thinking could help me activate my whole brain and overcome my learning challenges. The elation I felt at learning to read at age 30 gave me a huge lift in my self-esteem. And I wanted to read everything once I learned to read, but I decided to focus my attention onto reading personal development, and in particular, looking for techniques, goal-setting techniques, self-motivation techniques, positive thinking techniques, whole brain activation techniques that can help me take my life forward, pay off my debt, and to live a better future where I could help more people. And the thing that became increasingly important to me was finding ways to use systems to help me engage my whole brain. And brain cells that fire together wire together. And using systems like goal mapping with words and pictures help us to engage both sides of our brain so we can find answers to problems, as well as find a way forward to achieve our best life. If we think negatively about ourselves, then the opposite is happening. We're releasing brain chemicals such as cortisol that give us the feeling of sadness and close our brain down, and the problem is looking bigger and bigger. Life's modern problems require whole brain solution. We need to approach modern life problems such as not having enough money to pay our bills, or feeling unbalanced mentally, emotionally, physically, or isolated and alone. We need creative solutions for those modern life problems. And we find those by activating our whole brain through goal setting. And goal mapping does this particularly well because the combination of words and pictures helps to stimulate both the conscious mind and subconscious mind. And our subconscious mind is very powerful, like a magical genie. The genie can help our wishes come true, but the genie cannot wish for you. We must command the genie. And so with our conscious mind, we are master of the magic lamp. And by creating our goal map, we command our subconscious to help us move towards the things we want to achieve. And I just got a message from someone that we were on gallery mode still, so my apologies for that. And I'll move it to full screen here. And at this point, I'd like to invite Cephas to share a few words with us about his work with goal mapping and people he's been able to help. Cephas, are you there for the second time today? Thank you for joining. I know you were on the education showcase earlier today.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Brian.
And I think if I click on the next slide, Cephas, we have you there sharing goal mapping. For any of the new people tonight, would you just like to say who you are, your experience of goal mapping, and the work you've been doing?
Great. My name is Cephas Akuklu, originally from Ghana, but I live in the UK, Wolverhampton in the West Midlands. I came across goal mapping in 2010, and since then I've been so excited and how it has helped me. So I decided to help others. This was a youth camp in the summer of, I believe it's 2015 or 2016 in Ghana. That's just a small section. There were 500 youth in this space, and I was given the opportunity to encourage them. Their age groups were between 12 and 15. They were going to prepare towards the school living certificates and also determine what to do when they grow up. So they found it quite exciting, and I was pleased that I was able to impact on some of them. I've also worked in some schools. In Ghana, the private sector schools do better than the public sector. I think maybe it's the same in many places, but the private sector tends to favor the children of the rich. So if you are from a deprived or poor background, you remain in the public sector school where achievement can be challenging. And then in my own village where I was born, I went there again 2015, and I was told that the school has scored 0% 2 years running. So I was appalled by that, excuse me. So I sought an audience with the head teacher and asked her what was going on. She just told me that, oh, the students are useless, and that the current year group, or the year group that we're going to meet, were also going to fail. So I said, no, I wouldn't accept that. This is my village, these are my people. And if you're not, I mean, you need to work with me to help them out. Or maybe when I go back to the national capital, I'll go to the Ministry of Education and see that you are out of my village. So that was more of a threat, that because I couldn't believe that schools caused 0% 2 years recession, and then the head teacher still believed that the third year was going to be 0. So anyway, that was on a Sunday afternoon. So Monday, I was given the opportunity to meet the students. And it was a very, very small group. As compared with 500, that class was only 6 students. And this was in their third year. This was May, and they were going to take the exams towards the end of June. So I asked them that, oh, I heard you guys are planning to fail. They said, no, it's the teachers who want them to fail. Now, the teachers were always talking them down, thinking, oh, you are useless, your parents don't care, they are in the capital, your grandparents don't even know anything about education. So they were just literally killing these children. So I actually challenged the teachers about their own attitude. But luckily, I had opportunity to lift up these kids. And when the results came in July, August, the head teacher actually phoned me to come and celebrate, because all of them passed. Now, let me qualify that. When they passed, like I said, comparing with UK qualification, this year, grades A to C, 50% of them got that. But all of them got at least a D. So instead of the 0%, we achieved 100% for the basic, and also 50% for those who can progress to the next level. And that was amazing. I could feel it still today when I'm talking about it. Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, what do you think was the difference that made the difference there, Felix, with so many people managing to pass after you working with them?
Oh, it's just their mindset to believe in themselves, and also believe that they can achieve anything they set their minds on, because they've done the hard work already. This is a 3-year program. You've done 2 years and maybe 10 months. You've only got 2 months to the exams. So all they needed is just the mindset. So that's what I worked on.
And what was it for you, Felix, that attracted you to want to learn goal mapping and become certified in the system?
Sorry, Brian.
Sorry,
my
Cephas.
name is Cephas. I know
Yeah.
Felix and I look a bit alike.
Well, what was it for you, Cephas, that attracted you to goal mapping?
All right. Oh, it's a long story. Normally, I'm quite positive in life, but I met some challenges in my life. I met some challenges. To be more direct, I lost a 14-year-old child in 2002. He drowned at the Metropolitan Police ground in London. And since then, my life has been turned upside down. I could not cope with work that I used to enjoy. I was a lecturer in a further education college, but since the accident, I could not cope with work. So my employers decided that maybe they could give me 1 year sabbatical to go outside London to see if it will help me. So I moved to Wolverhampton initially for 1 year. And while I was there, I was trying to explore other things because the role that I really enjoyed, I couldn't do it properly. So I started looking for opportunities. And then I saw a group that has some, I believe, Brian, you had an association with Positively Mad?
Yeah, the people that teach goal mapping in schools.
Yes.
Here in England, yeah.
Yes. So they were advertising, and that was quite a dream that I was struggling with my life. And then this guy came, so we are positively mad, and we think you can be one of us. I'm like, excuse me, I don't want to be mad to start with. But excuse me, but that was a catchy name. So, sorry, I've got a bit of cold. But when I went to their program, they had many things, including goal mapping. And then I saw your name there, Brian Main. It's a goal mapping by Brian Main. So they were integrating that into some of their other programs. And that's why I sought to meet you. So I came down to the Isle of Wight 2010 to do the full practitioner program.
I remember.
And
you've used goal mapping in many different ways, as many of the coaches do. As Cephas, you've used it in education, but you've also used it in other ways. I know recently you've been making a presentation for people in South Africa, social workers, using the online system.
Yes. That was just Thursday last week, where earlier on I had coached one of them, and this person was so impressed about the system that they said, oh, I wish I can introduce it to my colleagues. So I said, well, we can arrange that. And so it was Thursday morning where there were 24 of them, and we used the online system. Now, South Africa is 2 hours ahead of the UK, and I'm not an early riser at all.
But at least you didn't have to get up extra early and travel on an aeroplane.
No. So the online system was great. I actually set my alarm for 5 a.m. just to make sure that I'm ready. And it was a fantastic interaction with them. And they are going to invite me over to come and deliver physically too. So the group is more than 24, but only 24 of them were around. So maybe February or March, I may be traveling to South Africa to meet this group.
It's one of the things that I love about working with goal mapping now that wasn't possible in the past is that I can work online. Tomorrow I'm making a presentation for one of my clients in Greece, but I also travelled to Greece earlier this year to make a presentation, and we have 3 new coaches just about to start their new coach training from Greece also. Felix, I know if I say it one more time, I might scream.
I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you, Brian.
You can find me
2 bottles of wine.
2 bottles of wine for every time I say it from now on.
Yeah.
So, Cephas,
Yeah.
just tell us about how you used goal mapping to help you in your diet, because that was one of the things that really impressed me. And of course, this is a great example of how goal mapping is helping people on a personal basis, and not only professional in teaching it and sharing with others.
Yes. About 3 years ago, I was diagnosed pre-diabetic, and I was advised to go on a diabetes prevention and management program. And it was going to be a 9-month program. I'm like, wow, 9 months. And the doctor jokingly said, well, look, this is not a jail term. This is just to help you improve your own health. So you either go and do 9 months on this program and improve your life, or you end up becoming diabetic and suffer long term. So I went on a program, and I realized that they were encouraging us to set goals. So I actually have a goal map for. Brian, have I sent you that goal map or not?
I don't think I've seen it, Cephas.
Oh.
Do you have it? Can you share it now? Is it possible?
It might take a little bit of time to track it down.
Okay, you can just tell us.
Okay, but what happens is that when you are pre-diabetic, it means you are on the margin of falling into, like, if you're using traffic light system, green, you are fine. The amber is you are pre-diabetic. Red, you are diabetic. So I had to lower the blood sugar level in my from the amber back to the green zone, and they wanted us to do it within 9 months. But within 4 months, well, first 3 months, my sugar level dropped. But my weight, interestingly, sometimes when you talk of weight, people look at different parts of the body, but the most dangerous part to put on weight is your belly, the middle part of the belly, because all the sensitive organs are there, and you put pressure on them and they can put you into a bad state. So if you're getting, gain weight in your cheeks or your bum, no problem. But if you get too big in the tummy, that is dangerous. So I learned something there. I also learned about portions of food, and especially with the African diet, we eat a lot of carbohydrates. But carbohydrates produce sugar, and if you cannot balance the sugar level, then diabetes. So I managed to study those things, and using my goal map, I'm back to normal health, and I'm still, occasionally my weight goes up and down, but overall, I am clean of diabetes. So I've conquered diabetes using goal map.
Well done, Cephas. Very impressive. Goal mapping has also really helped me in my well-being, and I think it's one of those very universal systems that wherever we may want to improve things in ourselves or our life, or help other people improve, goal mapping has shown really that it can help us to achieve. I've had a lot of conversations recently around how mindset empowers our skill set and our knowledge. At school, we learn lots of knowledge and skills, but it is our DAC factor, our drive, our attitude, and our confidence that really empowers us to use our knowledge and skills in best effect. And I know that you were teaching for many years, Cephas, and we had a good conversation earlier today about how this analogy, the bicycle of ability, with knowledge and skills being empowered by who we are being, and of course, being clear about setting goals for our future. Because mentally and emotionally, each of us, like a bicycle, if we are moving towards something, the momentum gives us an equilibrium, a balance. Whether that's a balance in our health and well-being, whether it's a balance within our educational journey, which spans obviously over many years from primary school, secondary school, university, or whether it's the journey we make on into our corporate career, business career, work, life. Setting goals and being clear about those becomes a virtuous circle where our mindset or who we are being grows as we move towards our goal, which helps us use our knowledge and skills to even greater effect. And I'd like at this point to invite in our last guest for this evening, Flavia. It's been a little while since I have seen you, Flavia. Really nice to connect again tonight and to hear how you are and what you've been doing with goal mapping.
It's been ages because I've literally disappeared. For me, it's been a very internal process in many ways. So goal mapping has been my biggest gift. Throughout lockdown and sort of after the lockdown, I became very, very busy in my therapy practice. So I'm a hypnotherapist and a coach, and obviously goal mapping practitioner, life mapping facilitator. And I found that a lot of people went through a real identity loss. For the people who used to go out to work and all of a sudden they'd be working, you know, they were at home with their families and they completely lost who they were. Also, some people's relationships broke down and again, they completely lost their identity. So I found that goal mapping and particularly self-mapping was really, really powerful. So the way I've been using it in my therapy practice, I haven't used the online system that much. I've used it, so we've done the goal map or the self map together in session, and then I've sent them off with work for them to create the pictures, for them to draw the pictures, and I found it's been really powerful. Such a massive shift into, you know, the best version of themselves, and so much clarity in what they want to achieve in their life. So that's been really, really powerful. I mean, when I first joined on here, I sort of had a small attempt to feel like a bit of a failure because one of my goal maps is to deliver the goal mapping workshop. And because I haven't done that, I was sitting here thinking, oh, you know, I haven't done as much as I should have done. And I thought there are no shoulds. You know, it's been really, really powerful. And I use it with every client. It's you know, 1 or 2 sessions as part of the therapy process. But where it's been really powerful has been in my life and in my children's life. So shall I go a little bit into it, Brian?
Yeah, please do. We're interested to know.
So I was part of Yes Group, personal development community. And I went
in
to
London.
In London, yes. And I came to your goal mapping event. But prior to that, when I was doing my training as a hypnotherapist, we were looking at different ways of setting goals. So our mentor was sort of pulling all these different people, you know, offline, and we were learning the SMART goals. And he said, you know, this guy, Brian Main, he's got this way of setting goals. And to me, it was, yes, that's what I need. That's what I need. Because I was diagnosed with ADHD. So I was very much about the visual, very much, you know, the creative brain, but I didn't really have much structure in my life.
Thinking in pictures.
Yes. Yeah. So a lot of my goals weren't, I couldn't achieve them. I couldn't manifest them because I didn't have the logical structure. I was just dreaming the whole time. So when I saw the system, I thought, right, that's exactly what I need. So then obviously when I came to the goal mapping, I set a powerful goal there and then during the workshop, which took me 6 months to achieve. But it really, so during this time when I've been really internal, I've worked with developing the left side of my brain, because, you know, I'd set a goal and go, yes, I'm going to do this, and have this beautiful visual. And then, okay, what are my next steps forward? So what I've managed to do is, from having really quite poorly memory and poorly focus, to really expanding my brain to the point where, you know, I remember detail now, I can focus, I can structure, I can organize. And so I've helped the children do the same. So, you know, being diagnosed with ADHD and struggling with focus and being daydreamers, it's really helped them balance both sides of the brain as well. So it's been incredibly powerful. And then to a certain degree, I felt as though I needed to do this work first before stepping out into the world, because I felt a bit broken.
How old are the children?
They're 17 and 13.
Okay.
And you would not tell that they've got ADHD. You would not be able to tell now, because they've just balanced it so nicely. So they know, okay, you know, you can have this dream. So let's have a look at the action steps. Let's have a look at the structure. But not only that, I think in those last 2 years, with the self map, it's given me an opportunity to keep setting goals for myself, the best version of myself. And it's helped me to discover things about my past where I had a complete memory block. I had no conscious awareness of these events, which happened when I was young, which of course explained a lot of the symptoms and a lot of the traumas. So I can't even describe it, but I'm sure, you know, for those of you who use goal mapping a lot, it opened a whole load of healing opportunity by creating those structures. What am I going to do next to get the best version of myself? What am I and so now I feel as though I get feedback from my clients. This is the most powerful tool. I delivered some training back in, I think it was 2021, to a company. And I was really quite baffled, because they were the most resistant clients I'd ever met. Very, very logical. And I think out of the entire team, only 3 of them did the goal map. And the ones who did the goal map gave me really fantastic feedback. And the rest didn't. And that really disheartened me. So I think it sent me back a little bit. But yeah, so this is what I've been doing. And even now, you know, I use it all the time in my therapy practice. My next step, of course, is getting out into the world and doing those workshops, because I don't think you've got any goal mappers in Norfolk, have you?
And only you, I think, Flavia. It's all on your shoulders at the moment.
So it's my duty. And now I feel really confident to actually do it. I feel really confident. It just didn't feel right whilst I felt a bit broken. But I work with a lot of people with ADHD, and it's really helping them, because a lot of you either have the real extreme of just in the logical brain, or a real extreme of, you know, just in the creative brain. And a lot of them aren't told that there's a balance, just as I wasn't told.
No, and of course, it's one of the powers of goal mapping is if you actually use the system and you use it regularly, It does train the brain. It works both muscles. I think a dream board is really good, but of course, then it's mostly right brain, and writing the goals is good, but that's mostly left brain. And it's this combination of words and pictures, whole brain, that seems to help people the most. Whether the person is a bit more right brain orientated or left brain orientated. And for people that are new, a few people here, invited guests this evening, important to mention that there are 4 different mapping systems: goal mapping, life mapping, action mapping, and self mapping, which you said has been really helpful to you, and that you've been coaching out to others. And really good to hear that, Flavia, that you've been helping people, whether that's on a one-to-one basis. What do you think, Flavia, is the main benefit that goal mapping has brought to you on a personal basis in your life?
Oh, to me, is feeling as though I have. I mean, I don't want to trigger anyone, but healing from abuse, from sexual abuse. My body was very, very ill. So it's given me a chance to set goals for my health and to seek the right support, but also getting rid of the ADHD symptoms. I'm convinced now that I could be put in a big group of people and I'm pretty normal. You know, I've still got my quirkiness, but I don't feel like I've fallen off a wonky cloud anymore, which is which is really lovely. And you know, to develop confidence in my ability and in the fact that, no, I can remember this, I can do this, I can remember it. It's all in there. My brain has the capacity. And of course, for my children.
Well done, Flavia. Lovely
Thank
to
you
connect
very
with you
much.
again. And if people want to connect with you, to find you in the coach profile, like we showed earlier with Felix, and also, of course, for Cephas, who was speaking just a little while ago, Odysseus is not yet in the coach profile. Lovely to see you again, Flavia. Thank you for sharing this evening.
Lovely to see you too. Lovely to see you all. And Stefan, it's been ages, and Edmund. Lovely to see you all. Yes, and I will be doing that workshop in Norfolk.
Be great to see you.
All right, thank you very much.
In the community again in the coming weeks. Yeah, take care. And look forward to joining more. So just to start to bring things to a close here this evening, creating your goal map is really the most important thing. We have the mindset teaching on goal mapping to help deepen the understanding. We share the stories of what people are doing with goal mapping in the hope that it's inspirational, but it's creating the goal map that makes the biggest difference. And here, my goal map about making a difference by spreading the word to others. That's why in the coming months of 2023, we're going to have a session like this, 4th Monday of every month, where you can invite a guest if you want to, somebody that you think may be interested in teaching goal mapping themselves, or just to join yourself and to hear how other people around the world are using goal mapping in different ways. As we move through the months of 2023, we would change the focus slightly. So we'll be focusing on mental well-being, self-esteem, physical well-being, career, finding jobs with goal mapping, creating relationships with goal mapping, and of course, purpose with goal mapping. Creating the map, remember, only starts the creation of the brain cell connections. We also want to live the map. If you create your map online, then please do download it so you can bring it into the physical, print it, sign it, see it, say it once each day to strengthen the brain cell connections. share it with family and friends, because by strengthening the brain cell connections, I was looking for your profile earlier, Flavia, had it in the wrong place. By strengthening the brain cell connections, what we're actually doing is we are forming those beliefs that help to command our subconscious. And that's why, in addition to these Monday meetings, we also once each month have a masterclass where we show how to create a goal map for the different areas of life, for purpose, for relationships, financial freedom, well-being, self-esteem, and also authentic happiness. Each month, of course, working with the map to form the brain cell connections. And if you are interested to join the community, we've got 3 different levels: a certified coach, one-to-one work, certified facilitator presenting goal mapping in a group, and certified practitioner teach the whole day to a big audience. And we are running a physical certified practitioner program here on the Isle of Wight. Yes, in March. It'll be the first physical program since before the lockdown we had to cancel back in 2020. And so if you're interested to become certified, you can start online. But if you want to attend the physical program, that will be available also come March. Remember, it certifies you to work in any of the areas we've been talking about, corporate, public, and education. And over the coming months, we will each month be inviting people to talk about these different areas and the work with goal mapping in either business or network marketing, schools, or using it in different lifestyle groups such as diet, exercise, weight loss. There is a new resource center available. Be new to you, Flavia, as you haven't been back for a little while. You'll find there all of the support materials of logos and banners and things that you can post into social media. And of course, goal mapping is both business opportunity where you can use the coaching pages like these here from My Coach Center. Each page, like this one with Dave Baxter, we have a personal chat, plus I can check out Dave's map. You can download the paper templates to work on paper, or you can use the platform to work online. It's both self-development as well as business opportunity, because in creating the maps, you activate your whole brain, as well as understanding how to use the platform with others. And of course, create your goal map for running your goal mapping business, as well as a life map to develop yourself as a person. And so a certification in both goal mapping, life mapping, teaching it to youth as well, a support center with all of the materials you need, as well as your own coach profile and being listed in the registry. Here's Stefan's profile. Good to see you tonight, Stefan, and your testimony here about using goal mapping. I know you've been presenting just recently to people as well. 7 simple week process to create 7 goal maps to enhance your life. And for the people here already certified in goal mapping, and there are many of you here this evening, thank you for joining. The big learning for me in recent years in running these monthly sessions is it makes me update my own goal maps. And it's the same line that I've been saying for many years: if you work it, it works. If you update your maps, it's working. If you don't, it isn't. And that is one of the reasons why I would encourage you to join the monthly Life Path Masterclass, where we take people every month through creating one of the 7 recommended goal maps. And I hope you will also join here in these Life Lifter showcases as we invite people to join the Lift Academy. And once people join, there is nothing ever to pay again. It's a full money back guarantee, no renewals. And of course, it's a skill for life. And as you've heard from people tonight, there are people here that have been using goal mapping, some of them for many years in their own life, as well as teaching it to others. And whatever type of coach or therapist or teacher trainer you may be, whatever your passion, helping your clients achieve their goals is fundamental to wanting to make a difference to others. Whatever difference you want to make, wherever in the world, to whatever age of person, and we're now at 1,520 people certified teaching goal mapping around the world. It goes up almost every week now. People like Sib Tuve here doing executive coaching in Norway. Whatever level you want to operate at, we have a goal mapping training and certification package that can support you in that. With the family material like Emily here in Italy making a difference to youth, or John Alexander up in Scotland with his program empowering apprentices and the tremendous work he's done over the last couple of years. And we're going to invite John in to make a presentation on his work here early in the new year. All of the materials you may need are all included in the program. We have just one price, even for the silver and gold upgrade codes, 10 gold, 15 silver codes. Again, all included in the program, together with the life mapping certification, again, also included. And many coaches, as Risha here, are using life mapping equally with goal mapping to empower themselves and their clients. If you're interested to join, whether at the coach level, facilitator, practitioner, there is no difference in terms of overall price. You can start at the coach level, move up, or you can step in at a higher level. At coach level starts at just £1,495. And if you're interested to know more about the program and how it can be personalized for you or someone that you want to introduce to the program, then please do simply contact me and Vicky by emailing vicky@goalmapping.com, and we'll be happy to arrange a call and discuss with you on a private, personal, one-to-one basis how goal mapping can support you in making a difference in the world, in the same way that it has helped so many people here this evening and make a difference both in their own life and to others, whether that's nearest and dearest, family and friends they care about, or a wider community, and of course earn a living by charging for their services. I thank you all for joining this evening. I'm really looking forward to the monthly sessions over the coming period throughout 2023, and from hearing from the different people that are teaching goal mapping and making a difference around the world. Remember, if you'd like to invite in a guest, we have a special sharing link. Just need to contact me and Vicky, and we will help you with the material so you can reach out to others if you think they would enjoy to be part of this presentation. I wish you all lots of love. Thank you very much for joining this evening. Take care, everyone. See you again soon. Bye-bye for now.